guys, happy Wednesday. Oh my goodness, we've got a heck of a show coming up. Oh, thank you so much everybody for jumping in. Oh, this is amazing. East Coast Grower, welcome. 256420, welcome. One Drop Cultivators, we have a big show today, you guys. Hi, we have, Mr. Ganix just jumped in. Papa Kush, hey guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, Ganix, you're gonna have to request. I'm too nervous. Ken Alicia, welcome. Bear family, we have a big show today, guys. We have a special guest. This is a special home grow afternoon edition. We have Pigeons420 joining us. Haas Farms, welcome. Welcome. Okay, let's see this. Richburn, Rock, yeah, Trichomes, welcome. Pigeons420 in the house. Welcome, sir. If you could just put your request in, Pigeons. I'm so nervous. I don't want to hit the wrong button and shut everything down.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Ganix. This is Home Grow in the afternoon edition, I guess. Pigeons420 is going to be joining us. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. There he is. Here he comes.
I had to take the afternoon off work.
Yeah, I had to book
okay.
it off. Well, it's a good thing homie's a fan of ours.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hi, welcome.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hey guys.
Hi.
How are you?
So
I'm well.
Us.
Thank you. I just got finished recording some From the Stash.
Oh,
nice.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And I'm ready to smoke some weed. I just need my light.
Perfect.
Hurry up.
Me too.
I'll get locked and loaded. It's not hard for me to do. Welcome, everybody. Special afternoon edition. Pigeons420. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
What are you going to be smoking?
Well, thanks for being here.
Oh, I'm going to be smoking on some homegrown Dreadnought OG.
Oh.
I actually have it right here.
East Coast.
Welcome, everybody.
Oh, so yeah, I've got. Oh no, that's not it. This one right here. This is my Dreadnought OG, and this was a fantastic harvest. This is from Ocean Grown. And yeah, it turned out really well. I'm very happy with this.
Oh, nice.
Of course, I'm a home grower, so forgive my trim job.
That's the same with all of us. Don't worry.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, right?
My least favorite part of growing is the trim. So I get it. I do.
You use the trim bowl as well, don't you, P? You use that trim bowl. You've got the AC Infinity one?
Yeah, I usually do, but I only had 2 plants. They were relatively small, so I hand trimmed them this time.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just quicker that way.
I figured. Yeah, and I sat with the chat, and we had some conversations. It was good.
Yeah,
It's a good way to do it because it kind of takes your mind off of what you're actually doing.
Yes, it does.
And you're so good at conversing with yourself in the chat. Like it's like just comes naturally to you, it seems.
Every teacher I ever had told me that I had the gift to gab. So I just figured I'd put it to use, right?
Yeah, let's
Absolutely.
monetize that shit.
That's right. I knew I would find a career that would support that. Right? Cheers, guys.
No, that's perfect.
Cheers. Okay, now Lisa's in the house. Chris Canaflower welcomes. Welcome, Pigeons420. Let's do a proper introduction here. So, I am Mama Kush 420. We talk in the chat. We've never done face-to-face. This is pretty amazing here. And then this is my partner in crime, Mr. Ganix.
It's a pleasure to meet both of you formally.
You as well.
He's the one that kind of reins Mama in sometimes.
Yep.
Oh no, there she goes.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
That's my Mr. Grow It then. I get it.
Right?
There you go.
Yep, I get it.
Well, see, I think that's why the three of you and Rob, the three of you all really work together really well is because you all have such different personalities, but the same love for the same plant and the same passion and the same goals, but you all just go about it just a little bit differently.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, it's like if we were all the same, you've heard it before, it would be so boring because, you know, there would be no conversation, there would be no, you know, we disagree all the time, which is fantastic.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And we dive in, like we recorded 3 episodes today and we had a little insight. We had a guest on there, Nick from Rooted Leaf, and they work on carbon in their nutrients. And man, the conversation was incredible. It was remarkable. It was eye-opening. I'd never even really considered the importance of carbon in plant nutrients in general. I understand its makeup in the atmosphere, but man, yeah, it's nice to be able to just dive into these. And you know, I bring an element of like the dumb blonde to the conversation. Well, like they bring the technical side, and we jive very well.
Yeah.
And it always makes for great information.
What?
Yeah.
You bounce off each other just wonderfully. Like even watching you guys live when you're with like not even the recorded, edited stash version, just watching the live over on Twitch. It's so fun because you know you can tell that there's some bro love there. You see the little side eyes to each other, and you know, and as a viewer, it's hilarious to watch. I absolutely love the chemistry you guys all have over there.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Very welcome. Okay, I'm going to stop fangirling about it.
Good, because you're making me blush.
I'm blushing. What are you talking about?
Don't have a beard anymore, so now you can see my cheeks and stuff.
So tell us what we've got
shaved.
going on here and what's coming up on the 21st there.
Oh, Mama, thank you. Well, first of all, I can't grow a beard to save my life. So for like the last 30 years, I'd been growing that one that everyone's been so familiar with. And, you know, I knew it was time for change, but there was a campaign, Movember. It's a men's mental health awareness campaign. And I knew I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what. And you know, shout out to Idiom. He's actually in the chat right now, and he's a very familiar Twitch. He's a friend of mine, is what I'm really going to say. And you know, he motivated me to say, you know, and it was subtle. He'll say, no, I was just watching, but you know, he's the one that said, you know, why don't you do something? And I thought, sure, all it takes is a spark, and I decided I'm going to look into it. And I aligned, or I felt like I aligned with a lot of the missions and the statements made by Movember and the campaigns that they support, because charities today are scary. I hate dealing with them. I'm afraid of where their money goes and where their real interests lie, and that's so unfortunate because it kind of falls on the backs of the cause that they're trying to raise money for. But anyways, there are a lot of good organizations, so Movember seemed like aligned with them, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to shave my beard. So we set a goal of $2,000 that we would attempt to raise over 2 live streams, one on the 4th and then one on the 21st, I think is what it was. And 21st is the one that's going to happen. 21st, 9 p.m. Central, over on Twitch. We're going to have another show. We're going to have guests, prizes, and information just focused on men's mental health. And yeah, that's really what it is. I'm a huge proponent to men's mental health, and I'm a huge proponent to mental health. But women are so much better at dealing with that than men are. And generally speaking, right? And so,
well, you also have that other podcast that you're doing, Highly Motivated, which kind of slips into that.
That's right.
Slips into that part of it. So it's not necessarily the weed side of it. It's more focusing on your journey.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and that, you know, that one, Daddy Issues is that one. That's the.
Oh, sorry.
No, that one is. I'm very fortunate to have a platform with a few people that follow me, and I want to be able to do some good with it. And I know that, you know, growing cannabis and consuming and networking and building a community, that's amazing. But I want to speak to the human a little more. And yeah, that's really what I wanted to jump into. I want people to know that just because, you know, because we're online and we make content doesn't mean we're not human too.
Right.
I'm just a regular guy. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. You know, I've got people that rely on me. I rely on other people. So yeah, I just want to share.
Yeah,
We're human.
it's
awesome.
lovely that you've got that conversation starting, you know, because for men, it's hard to have that conversation starter, you know.
Well, and
So,
doing something like that too also kind of shows people that aren't in the cannabis community that, you know, not cannabis growers aren't bad people. You know, what we're doing here is not a bad thing. So you took it to another level and you're doing stuff for charities and, you know, bringing awareness basically. And you're just letting everybody know, you know, like you said, you are human and cannabis growers are good people. You know, we're not criminals, you know, so, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's it. You know, that we are human, man, and I just think more and more sectors of society just need to understand that we have more in common, right? Than we have that aren't in common. That goes for men and women too. We have many differences, but that I have as many differences with Mama Kush as I do with you. You know. And so, but we have so many similarities that bring us together on that same level. So that's what I want to focus on.
The love of the plant.
That's it.
Love of
And
the plant
it sounds so cliche,
together.
but it's like, it's fact. It's fact. It does. And so I'm really excited to be able to champion that.
Yeah, that's fabulous. That's absolutely fabulous. Now, I'm just going to shift gears for just a second here, and we are going to talk about how the three of you, Mr. Grow It, Rob from CLTV, and Pigeons, created. We'll start with the Stash podcast because I watched, as a fan, I watched the progression of all three of you coming together, interviewing each other separately, and then that light bulb moment when we went, hey, let's do something together, which is now merged into an actual physical product. So let me how did it all start when the three of you joined together? Bring us back to the beginning.
It was honestly it's cannabis. This is so much bigger than the three of us. I strongly believe this because like I am a proponent for cannabis content. I love growing, I love gardening, but I have become a huge proponent for cannabis content. I love where content is going. I love what it's doing. I love the creators, the people behind it. And if you go back to 2014, when I first started, and the collaborations, zero, the creativity, zero, the engagement, zero, the quality, did I say that? Zero. And I thought, you know, I didn't see then where I am now. I definitely didn't see that. But I got into this because I knew that to be as humble as I knew I could do it better really why I got into this, because I was blogging first.
This is not your time to be humble, sir. Tell us.
I knew I could, and I think if you have that same feeling, if you think that there's something out there that you can do better, do it, because it's amazing where you can go with your own abilities. But I saw a gap there, and when in 2014, when you were looking for grow content on YouTube, it was nothing more than a Nokia smartphone in vertical view. It's pixelated as all hell. The guy is in monotone. The lights, the LED lights are flickering across the screen like this. And it was horrible. The information was decent, but it was horrible. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to get into this. So needless to say, I love cannabis content, and I love the way it's evolved to be what every other corner of content is becoming. And Rob and I were on a podcast called The Grow Tube. It was by Doggo, and there was Vader, and you would see oh God, the names now. Fragoli. There was Colorado MD. Anyways, there were so many OG cannabis content creators. It's actually, in my opinion, one of the original podcasts. Rob and I were on that podcast together, and we kind of hit it off. Him and I had a great time, and I really liked his personality, and you know, I love how blunt he is, and because that is such a rare quality.
Right?
He,
The
he will,
honesty.
he will tell you exactly how he feels, whether he agrees or disagrees, whether you want to hear it or not. And
saves a lot of time though.
That's right, and you can't find that anymore because everyone wants to walk on eggshells, and everybody wants to just, you know, just play. They want to tell you what you want to hear, and Rob is not that guy.
To be offended.
That's right. That's right. Rob is not that guy. Rob is a great friend. It turned out to be anyway. He's a great guy, wonderful father, and so I knew when I saw him that him and I needed to get together. And so him and I had a phone call, or I don't know, phone call or whatever, video call. And him and I, we just kept saying everything. Like, it was like we were finishing each other's sandwiches. It was like I would start, he would finish, and I would put out a thought, and he was like, bro. And we just literally had the idea that we need a podcast. We both wanted to do one. We knew it. We just wanted to make it happen. Yeah. And we both looked at each other and thought, we need one other guy. That's really what we thought. We need one other guy. Yeah. And that only other guy was Chris. That was it. We said, if we can get Mr. Grow It, because then I can't believe I'm even saying that. Back then, 3-4 years ago, you know, Mr. Grow It, and still is, was such a still is such a high stature in our community, you know? Yeah. He's willing to dive into conversations and topics that are very taboo,
and he's so
that aren't
good
very,
at keeping it clean.
Good
at keeping it clean.
That is one of his qualities. He's so professional. You know, he's just very professional. And again, he's an incredible man. He's a great husband and a wonderful friend. And Rob and I said, we need to get this guy. And so we said to Chris, we said, we want to do a podcast. We'd love to have you a part of it. And his first response was, I'm down, but I'm not sure how much time I can dedicate to this. Yeah. And so we were like, we get it. You know, we're thinking we could just chill, hang out, have a conversation. It'll be nothing crazy. And
no, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy, eh? Nothing. And here we are, right? and let it be known, for the record, Chris has put in, and maybe Chris will deny this, but Chris has put in maybe not 10 times the amount of work that Rob and I have, but he has put in so much work that this operation is a tripod. It needs the three of us. We jive off each other so well. We bring just such great aspects of life to the table that just allows this thing. We don't, you know, there's other podcasts that have come and gone because they simply just can't get along.
Exactly.
And we are just so different, but yet we're men. We're adults. We can have a conversation.
Yeah, so. And you guys are able to bounce the ideas off each other and disagree and be able to prove your point. And that's why you guys were able to not only create the Stash podcast together, and I mean, I don't even know what your numbers are over there anymore, because like I literally listen to you every night, watch you.
I see Papa Kush in the chat, and I want to wave. I'm trying streaming on my TV half the day, every day. Right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love you. I love it for that. Thank you.
Well, you guys, the three were able to now merge it over to this amazing podcast, and you're on Spotify, you're on YouTube, and now on Twitch, and now you've created a physical product. You guys have and I believe it actually happened. I think all the sparks happened actually on a podcast. Yes. Look at this.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
The Stash Blend.
Everything's just been organic. You know, we spend a lot of time talking, but we spend more time talking while we're live, while we're just putting the show together. And it's amazing that a product like this can even still happen. It's
right,
because like I'm not going to brag about it because it's too much. No. But the thing is that
just tell us. I'll do your bragging. So you just tell us. It's backwards. I'm sorry.
It's so early in the cannabis game, the weed game right now, that like an all-in-one product can still happen. Like, it's amazing how many bottles you can save and yada, 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 yada. It's just, it's so early that this won't be the last one. And I don't mean by us. I just mean there's going to be products that come out where people, you won't believe them because it's so good.
Right?
Because
Too
we're
good
not using
to
the
be
Miracle
true.
Grow. That's right, too good, because we're not using Miracle Grow from the 90s anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine that. So I have to like nip myself in the butt because I'll just go on and on and on because it's it's that good. It's that good. I'll digress.
So this is my Pigeons was lovely enough to send this over with some Stash podcast slaps. So I didn't do this properly. There we go. You sent this over to me, which thank you so much. I've been wanting this stuff since you were like, it's in Canada. I'm like, whoa, I'm on it. And there were some shipping issues. So then
it was your.
She hasn't stopped talking about it ever since.
Right. It was what was your message, Mama Kush, that you sent me, and you're like, whoa, it's $150. I was like, whoa, that can't be right. And it was
off as 30.
Right,
it started off as $30, like
but
not
then
expensive
$100
at
for
all.
shipping.
Yeah,
I just thought, and then so immediately I put the brakes on. I didn't see this coming. This is had we known this would have been an issue, we would have waited to release and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
thankfully it's doing well.
Did it right. You guys did it right, though. You were like, whoa, hold up.
Right.
You know, we didn't anticipate this. This is a new venture, right? So, I mean, there's going to be speed bumps along the way, and it's just a learning moment, right? That's why I was like, okay, I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I'll do
just
it.
so you know.
I was like, no, I'm going to get you some. Yeah.
But yeah, so you were lovely enough to send me a couple of bags of these over. So I'm running my first run. I'm gonna do start to finish, and I got my little baby Zaza OGs, Dead Ops OGs starting. They're just like little bitties. So they're gonna get the stash the whole way through. So that's the goal on that one. So I'm sorry, but you're getting tagged and everything. You're gonna be sick of me.
I'm ready. Nope. No, we're ready. This is exactly what we want to happen. Rob, Chris, and I tested this out for like a year and a bit before anything, and we weren't able to say anything. We weren't able to like mention, it's like I even to my own Twitch chat, who I am so open with, unfortunately too often, I just kept small hints of like things I'm working on, I'm doing this thing, and it's just like
I know,
because you can't say
you want to say it.
You do.
You want
the
to.
last thing you want to do
so bad, but
exactly. But for proprietary reasons and for obviously, you just want to make sure that you nail it. And the journey to create it was amazing. I learned so much from shout out to Growers House. They're the ones that distribute the product. They're the ones that put it in the bag. They're the ones that get it out to the people, so on and so forth. So, and we know them. We've had them on the podcast before. Yep. Everything's so organic. It's all worked out that we met Nate from Growers House from the podcast, and the podcast we met him at MJ BizCon, and then we had conversations, and next thing you know, like we've actually attempted another product on top of this one, but that one we weren't really that excited about, and it kind of fell through. But man, it's funny how you've got to put yourself out there. You have to. And, one of the best decisions, I kind of reluctantly hate to admit it, is that the best decision I made was showing my face on the internet, because it allowed me.
That was your turning point. That was your turning point.
Yeah.
It really was. And I watched it because I watched all from the chest. You taught me to grow from the chest down.
That's great. Oh my God.
But it really was like, and I know that was an emotional moment for you, and it was a real deep moment because that had family repercussions, that had your community repercussions. Like it was very thought out and concerned. Like I'm losing my words now.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It was a very emotional time. It was one that provided a lot of insecurity because, like, for obvious reasons, many of us are in the same area where, you know, we rely on paychecks from other people. And
Right.
they say, well, they can't fire you based on, well, they can fire you for whatever they want. It's what they write on the paper that counts,
That's
right?
right.
So I was not willing to put my wife and my son's income, our livelihood, on the line for YouTube videos, right?
Exactly.
And you know, yeah, as selfish as it is, I had to make sure that I could turn this into something profitable, something that I could turn it into a business before I could even think about showing my face.
Yeah.
And once I started to realize that there was an opportunity to monetize, and not through ad revenue, but once I realized there was an opportunity there, I ran with it. I ran with it, and I'm not looking back. I will. This operation will shine.
You took that ball and you're still running.
Yeah,
I'm
running with it.
The goalpost
I'm
yet.
still
You're
running.
Still running.
I'm running, and my arm's still back. I haven't thrown it yet. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm not even where I think I'll be. Yeah, got to think big. Got to put yourself out there and aim for the stars.
Now, when you
Well, and that's kind of nice for people to hear. That's kind of nice for people to hear, really, because that's a big thing even still today with how legal things are nowadays. You know, a lot of people are still not scared, but they just don't want to take that next step into showing their face. Even if it's just, you know, on Friday nights we do a garden show. A lot of people don't want to come on and show their gardens because they don't want people to see their face or know who they are, you know. So
we're like, just flip the camera around. We don't need to see your face. We want to see what you're growing.
But show your face. Take that ball and run with it.
Yeah.
We've actually gotten quite a few people actually to after joining us a few times and hanging out and realizing, hey, this isn't so bad. I was one of them actually.
Yep.
When I started going live, and I'm like, oh, there's not enough wine in the world to get me to go online. Seriously, no.
And
can't get rid of me.
What I was just gonna say, it's almost like now it becomes an addiction, right? It's a dopamine release.
Yeah,
it really is.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. You know how many people have come on with us for the first time, and they're like, man, you guys, you know, you guys are breaking me in. I've never done this before. I've never thought about doing this before. And then after that, we see them live everywhere, with everyone.
Every day, any point you pop in, 2:00 in the morning, they're live somewhere. They're doing something.
Yep.
I see it all the time. I see it all. The amount of communities that have been created within my community or our is amazing.
Right.
And I'm one of them. I'm a sub community of a community somewhere, right? So
exactly.
I'm very thankful.
Shout out to all the flockers out there.
That's it.
Hell yeah.
I'm very thankful. Very thankful.
But you've been beat down and you know, abused kind of by the system here with the YouTube and you know, getting, you know, all your stuff taken off, and you know, so you've felt the repercussions, but your fans have followed you, and they followed you to a new platform. They followed you over to Twitch, which is fabulous. Like, to be able to have that much impact, to be able to get somebody to follow you over to some other new platform, because essentially it was new to a lot of people. It's new to me.
Easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, you did wonderful. You learned who your true followers are.
You darn right you do. Yeah, you darn right you do. And you're absolutely right. As you learn content creation, it's very difficult to create a community. It's very difficult, or it can be a slow grind to build. It's even harder if you want to get that community to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Because now you're asking them to not only just do what they already do and just click or tap. Now they've got to go and download something. They got to log in, create another name, and you know, I don't take that lightly. The people that come over and the amount of people that are like, wow, I just created a Twitch for you, Pigeons. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, what have I done that has really encouraged or inspired you to take this next level? Because whatever it is, I thank you, because the amount of people, you know, I have 100,000+ people that follow me on YouTube and 12,000 that follow on Twitch, right? So there's a big margin of people that just don't, right? And for whatever reason. So that is your community.
Yeah.
And it's so important to cherish that, and don't think
from that, you were actually able to launch that into your gaming and your. I'm not a gamer. I'm sorry. You start losing me when the guns
You're not alone.
start coming out.
You're not alone.
Which is fine. It's just not for me.
Yep.
But Emerald Hills.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Oh yeah, RP. Yeah, that's Rob and I started a Grand Theft Auto server, and we have an incredible team of developers. Oh my God, it's crazy to say that, but we got an incredible team of developers and devs that just work on cars and all kinds of things. But yeah, it's a role-playing server, and yeah, it's an awesome place to go blow some steam. And I play a cop, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. And,
what's your username? What's your cop's name?
Commissioner McCracken. Phil.
That's funny.
Phil McCracken.
And there's a few of those servers out there too. Actually, I've seen a few of those. There's Bay Area Bugs and all those guys are doing it too. That's cool.
There is. Yeah, we're not new to this by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. Can't wait for Grand Theft Auto 6 on the other hand. But
I think when is that
next month?
Coming out?
Next month?
Possibly next year. Possibly.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. No idea when it's actually going to release. But I'm a huge gamer. I love gaming, and gaming is a great way for anyone to blow steam and let loose on pent up emotions, and
especially Grand Theft Auto.
Absolutely, and Call of Duty. It's great to be able to just murk a bunch of kids. When they should be in bed.
What was your favorite as a kid? What was your favorite game as a kid? Like 13-year-old P.
It's
what
funny.
Was your favorite?
Actually, I didn't play. Playing outside as a kid. I didn't play any.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't play any.
You don't
video games.
hear that anymore.
No,
right?
You don't. No, you don't. I never played. That was one thing. Like, I didn't actually connect with my family very well because the folks, I don't like to refer to them as my parents, but the male role model in my house, it's even worse description. Yeah, the man in the house, the oldest boy in the house. Anyways, my dad played video games, and so did my brother. And they connected based on that, but I didn't. I like to be outside with friends and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a much different time back then. But as I got older, you spend less and less time outside and doing other things. Yep. That it was like, wow, it was nice to be able to let loose and test your skill and all that kind of stuff.
Nice. Were you ever into, like, did you ever get to go to an arcade? I know you live in a small town in Canada, so sometimes arcades are a thing still.
Well,
I could probably go find an arcade right now if I really wanted to.
Oh, I totally could too. Yeah, it would be a hole in the wall. It wouldn't be like some big over the top.
Oh no.
But
you have to know a place.
yeah, you have to. Arcades were like I grew up on an island, like Vancouver Island in British Columbia. And we had to take the ferry to get anywhere. So they had arcades on the ferry. And I remember specifically, I attribute ferries with arcades with ferries. Do they? Do they? See, you got it. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I'm BC, right? So I know I've been on the ferry last couple of years, and they have these brand new ferries that are all like all these fancy little things, and they still have an arcade. But they also have iPod hookups, and
of course,
they've updated it, but there is still
the new age.
A couple of arcades.
Well, that's good.
On the ferry,
that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
So that's pretty cool that you associate that with ferry, right? Like that's
that's my childhood.
Memory.
That's my childhood, right?
Fun little memory. That's a fun little memory.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let him have a hoop.
So I'm gonna go back a little bit. Back to the stash blend. So this is a start to finish product that you guys created?
It almost finished. If you follow the instructions, they might even be more so on the website actually.
The website has more information.
Yeah, it says to wean off after week 6 of flour. And that's because all of the microbes and bacteria within the pot is going to continue acting well into and after week 6. So yeah, you can just let off and let it do its own thing.
Nice.
Yeah, so you have enough of the microbes and stuff in there to add in. And this is water soluble. So I was just reading the directions. It says mix half to 1 teaspoon per gallon of water. Add this last when mixing the nutrient solution. So if you're running salts, you're going to want to make sure that you add this last.
Yeah. Yep.
And this has the beneficial bacteria, silicon, seaweed, humic acid, and more. And there's like was it alcohol, corn alcohol in this?
Corn deep liquor.
Deep liquor, that's it is.
Yeah. That's our MP source of NPK.
Nice. So this is like an all-purpose, basically. This is like kind of like your base nutrient, and then you can add whatever you feel.
All you need to provide is the base nutrient, and this is everything else. So generally speaking, you shouldn't need. So if you look at this is for synthetic. You can use it for organic, but I'm just thinking think of it as a line of nutrient bottles. You typically only need like the first 4 bottles out of like an 8, 9, 10 bottle line, because we've got all the rest.
Perfect.
Nice. So it's really pares down what you need for your plant. So you don't need all the extra bottles at $100.
Simplifies everything so much. That's why I started growing organically, was because there was 700 different bottles you had to use for synthetic. You know what I mean? And I didn't come up with it, but I heard somebody say, it was a science project every single time. You felt like a scientist, and I switched to organics to make everything simple, and then over time I've complicated everything and just.
He's like, I love my bottles.
Right.
Don't take my bottles away.
Right.
He was like, nope, I don't. Nope, no organic.
I get it.
My bottles.
Yep, I get. I'm solely synthetic. I've never been organic. I will never change. I have zero desire to change. It's just I know what I'm doing. I don't want to change.
Exactly.
I don't want to even have one grow.
Yep.
That things go wrong.
Yep.
Right.
And and that's fabulous, because this can work for both. It doesn't matter what you grow, or how you grow, I should say, or it doesn't. I guess what you grow. Yeah. How you grow.
We do recommend, like the scientists that put it together for us does recommend that it's not suggested. I see the Ripper says, can you use it in RDWC or hydroponics? I'll answer this question. It's twofold. The scientist that created it for us said that we do not recommend that you use it in an RDWC system or in a hydroponic system. The reason for that is because not all elements of it are immediately water soluble. So if you have filters or systems, it is likely that it could build up and not dissolve in the water. Now, with that being said, we actually have somebody, Cam Z probably is the name, who's in our Discord for Stash Blend, and he's doing just that. He's actually using Stash Blend in an RDWC setup and is having no issues.
Oh,
so,
nice.
I have to state that as twofold, but do as you please, as long as you're vigilant with your systems, you're cleaning your system and you're cleaning your filter. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. Cool. And you know what? Each grower, I find growers are very, just like stoners, right? Like we can be very ingenious if we need to be,
So we are.
Once you get your hands on growing, then you're like, okay, I got the basis. Okay, what can I do now? Let's start doing some things. Let's play a little, right?
Right.
You almost when somebody says you can't do something, you almost want to do it just to prove that wrong. You know what I mean?
You know how many people have been told they can't clone an auto, but if probably still tried to clone an auto anyways? And I don't fault them for it. I say power to you, because maybe someday the next one will clone, but who knows? No.
There's a guy on YouTube, Bill Ward. And I remember watching him back in the day. He was like, everybody said I couldn't do this, so I'm going to do it anyways. I'm not trying to get the big yield. I just want to see if I can do it, and that's it. It's for science.
That's right. That's right.
And he did it, and it worked.
And it works. That's right.
They were babies.
That's right.
They were little tiny plants, but he did it, and it worked.
That's right.
And that's all he was going for.
That's right. So
Yeah.
you can do it. It's not that you can't, right?
Yeah.
It's a, yeah.
It's not
The
ideal to do it that way,
recommended.
but you still can do it.
That's right. That's right.
Now, Pigeons, you're very well known for manipulating your plants and doing, the training. I think what was that one that you had? You kept a branch from it for the longest time. You took it from like 5 feet down to like 1 foot.
It's funny. I was actually trying to remember this plant like 3 days ago, and it was bothering me.
The new dog.
It was the new dog. Yeah,
The
I
new
was
dog.
gonna say
That's what it
I
was.
had to think of it, and it came to me, but it was way later than when I needed that information.
Yeah,
but
that
it was the new dog.
It happened.
Yeah,
the new dog. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and
that
it was a great grow.
But to be able to do that and to be able to think of, okay, it's big. I need it to be small. How are we going to do this? Were you taught to do low stress training, or is it something that you just started doing on your own, just bending it over and seeing what happens?
Gosh, I honestly wish I could give you the inspiration. Well, actually, I can. I was on I used to be a blogger before I was a blogger, if you can say that. And there's an individual. I'm inspired by the community. I'm always inspired by the community. But there was an individual there, and I consider him a colleague of mine, and you can still find him on the internet. His name is Light Addict, and I believe he's one of UK's largest online plant gardeners. And he is incredible at fluxing his plants, which is a technique at keeping the plant really, really low and just the tops with no other branches coming out. And the things that he used to do with his plants was just breathtaking. And in fact, he actually did an experiment where he took a light bulb and he tried to grow a plant around the light bulb, train it all the way around. And I'm pretty sure he got like 80% of it filled all the way around. It was so awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, he was. I'm going to say he was one of the biggest sources of inspiration for me. But I remember the very first time I topped my plant, and I remember my buddy was like, "Just chop the top off." I was like, "What do you mean? Just chop it off?" And I was so scared, and like everyone else, I tried to clone it, like I tried to save it, and yeah, you know what? It's trial by error is really what it is, and particularly when it came to the new dog, I just had a plant. It was too tall. It was too big. If I did nothing with it, it was just gonna die. So bend it in half and let's see if we can make something of it. And sure enough, it turned into one that people still talk about. So it worked out. Yeah. People talk. I hear about it all over the internet.
Oh, that one, I was like, what? Like literally my mind was blown. I was like, what? You can do that? Like, and then I'm like, oh no, it's not gonna make it. It's not gonna make it. So then every week you were updating it, and I'm like,
and the weed was
she
great.
likes it.
Oh,
She likes it.
he liked it, and the weed was great. It was good smoke, and yeah, it was just a great run. That's back. Oh God, back when I could show plants on the radio.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I know, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Rob just recently put out a post about how he just said the word "grow," and it snapped. I'm like, this is okay.
Like,
come
wow.
on, now it's getting out of hand now. Like, especially the three of us, we're all Canadian. It is federally illegal. We could mail it to each other if we would like.
Yes,
We could have the government pick it up from our house and take it and give it to their house if they want.
But it's not legal in all places in Canada.
Yep.
That's true. So
Which honestly, I just
Yeah.
learned that not that long ago. Like
the
maybe a couple weeks ago, and then I heard it on another show. Somebody was talking about how it's still illegal in Manitoba.
You don't have the recreational.
What?
To grow. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's crazy.
Incredible. Yeah, Manitoba and Quebec.
Quebec.
Wow.
That just blows my mind. I'm like, why?
So it's legal to consume it. It's legal to have it. It's just not legal to grow it.
Yeah, I have to give in to the
Crazy.
government. I have to be at mercy of the government.
Yeah.
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 Crazy.
They allow
Makes
like
sense anymore.
private dispensaries. They allow private dispensaries because my buddy owns one, and shout out to Black Tie Cannabis. That's my buddy's dispensary in Winnipeg, and I encourage you to go check it out. I love it. He's done a great job, and I stand behind it. But he only gets to select from what the government says he gets to select from. So they provide him a book of pre-approved whatevers, and he gets to choose. And then those particular producers can only grow from a pre-established list of cultivars. And yeah. It's gross. It's disgusting. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the hoops. Like that is insane.
Yeah.
And then they go and radiate it all anyway at the end just to get it out to market. So I mean, what does it matter with all of that?
Right. You're right. Yep, you're right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. But I mean we're coming from a place in Canada where we can just walk down the street and smoke if we want. There's so many people out there that are still having to grow in closets and keep it on the down low. So having your training abilities to be able to manage small spaces if you need is wonderful for information for the community to have, that you can. If you forget, you can squash it down and bring it real low, and they'll keep it on the down low if you need.
Yeah, they say
still get a good yield, still get some good smoke. You're good to go.
Yeah.
They say the most dangerous thing about cannabis is being caught with it.
Right.
And it's unfortunate, but it's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so sad. It's so sad. But and it's a healing plant. People use it for so many different. I mean, I find just even growing is healing. Just being in the garden with a couple of girls and hanging out for half an hour. That's healing. That's. I mean, there's so much
100%.
more to this plant than just smoking it in the end result. And then you've got the medical benefits and the terps and so speaking of terps. What's your terp? What's your go-to? What are you looking for? This is I threw this question out the other day.
Yep. It's kind of a myriad of particular terpenes. It's more so. I'm not a huge fan of pinene. Some of the citruses that come with it. Not a huge fan. But your caryophyllene, like I love your earthy kind of a lot of your earthy, maybe your sage undertones. But my favorite has got to be like the funk, the gas.
You like that stank?
Yeah. Oh, it's got a stank. Yeah, it's definitely got a stank, and it's got to be to the point where it's like I'm checking my armpits, whether it's me or whether it's the plant. Like I want it that bad. I want it so that like my friends come and they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "That's my weed, bro." There's something about that foul, just nasty, skunky smell that just
skunk. Yeah.
I just know it's gonna lead to happiness. So
it's hard to tell whether you're driving down the road and there's a skunk on the side of the road or if that's plant.
Yeah.
And no matter what, I'm like,
yeah.
So I just recently learned of a dill pickle terp. That there is a dill pickle terp.
Yeah, I actually saw your post about that.
Like what? Would you try a dill pickle terp?
Well, I love dill pickles. I love
dill pickles.
I drink pickle juice.
It's really good for a hangover, by the way.
I actually think it's really good for sore throats too.
Yep.
Yeah.
The garlic.
Yeah. I don't know whether I would enjoy a pickle terp, but I would definitely give it a shot.
I'd try it. I but I don't know.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just kind of. I don't know.
You smoking the funk first, and then have your pickles afterwards.
Have your pickles afterwards, right? I think for me though, I would have to have that like first thing in the morning though. So then my palate wasn't. Oh, listen to me, my palate.
Tainted, eh? Tainted by the dill pickle.
I don't know. I thought that one was kind of interesting. It just blows my mind the amount of
it's different for sure.
These plants can give, right?
Oh, that's just
it's definitely one I've never come across.
No,
for sure.
Me neither. No, me neither.
That's funny.
So is there anything new coming up in Pigeons World that we can be excited about?
Oh gosh. You know what? Yeah. I've always got new content coming around. Always diving into new stuff. The nice thing about not showing plants in my videos is that it's, as a cannabis content creator, it's required me to think outside the bomb. Because like I said, I love cannabis content. I love where it was. I love where it's going, and I can't wait to see where it eventually heads towards. Because like I am a consumer of online content. As someone who's in the business, if you will, I take on a lot of content to see, what can I do?
Of course.
What can I incorporate into our space? And not showing plants has required us to branch outside of that. And the content now that's coming is really cool. Is really cool from everyone. I know Rob's working on something really cool. I don't want to release his beans, but he's working on an investigative piece, if you will, in regards to things. I've done deep dives into High Times magazine. Tommy Chong getting arrested and infiltrated by the FBI. These are pieces of content that maybe don't reach to our general audience, because my audience is growers, but it reaches our content to the most amount of people. And my mission, and I said this back when I started my channel, was I want to share cannabis with as many people as possible. And I don't care what your walk of earth is. I don't care where you come from, none of that, because I know that cannabis can enhance your life and can make you a better human being. And YouTube has made it so that I can't spread that message showing plants anymore. So what? So what? I can I can crawl underneath a rock.
You can show your face.
I can show my
face.
Your plants. I can show my face. I can't show my plants. That's right. I'm going to bounce back, and I'm going to come back. And that's not just me. That's this whole community. And the content now is in a pivot mode, where it's like now we're starting to see some really cool pieces. So yeah, I've got some of those coming out, and I know there's a ton coming out by others as well. Going to Vegas next week.
Yes, I was just gonna ask if you're planning on going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys did that last year. I remember that.
Yeah, I think this is going to be year 4, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe year 3, year 4, somewhere around there. So I think it's year 3. I'll get the date. It's awesome to be able to meet up with those guys.
Well, there's quite a few content creators that are going to be heading down. So I can only imagine the parties and the content.
Oh my! Yeah, I can't believe it.
Well, we all saw the dance party last year, so I can only imagine how it's going to be this year.
There will be a dance party or two. I can assure you. I'm going to bring anything to the table. It's some moves.
And then Basement when going over and kicking the guy
right in the nuts. Yeah. Talking $20 though. You had to pay $20 to do that.
Right? I know. But
I think Basement actually showed that. I think Basement actually showed that on our show one night, and he said this is the first time anybody's ever seen this other than the people in the video.
Right.
So
he
was editing when he came on.
Yep.
He came on our show, and we got
that's too good.
We got a little sneak peek.
Oh, that's great. No, that's what I said. Like,
that was too funny.
Cannabis content right now is at an all-time high. We have cannabis content creators getting put into a content house to spend 3 days together. It's just like, it's like, this is happening. This is a thing that, I saw this on like TV in the 2000s. I called it Big Brother.
The ideas that are going to be randomly bouncing around. You're going to be having your morning coffee all hungover one morning. All of a sudden, boom, content idea.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what's crazy is that, like, we definitely party hardy, but we work harder. I'm not even joking.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been to Vegas. I think this is the 4th time. I think this will be the 4th time. And I've yet to gamble. I haven't spent any time gambling. I think I spent like a 20 at a casino. and maybe over the course of like the whole time, maybe $200. But it's like we just don't. You know, it's like when you're in your element and you're just with other people that want to do the same thing that you're doing. There's no time to get in it. You don't want to get in a state. You don't want to drink. You want to drink. You want to have drinks, but you don't want to get juiced to the point where you got to sleep in until noon and you miss 4 hours of partying in the morning.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, it's so much fun though. So much fun.
And the last time you went, you actually met Redman. You went to his concert, and then you got to meet Redman up on the was it the slide, or was that the parachute going over the?
Yeah, the indoor skydiving.
The skydiving.
Yes. Yeah. His friends call him Reggie. No,
Reggie.
Yes.
Please. He ran it. We ran into.
I heard him say that in a song once.
Oh, did he? Yeah. Okay,
he did.
You know Reggie too, then.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're friends.
He's such a cool dude, man. Him and Method, man. These guys are so dope. Like they put on these guys are in their 50s, and they're putting on a show where they're just sweating balls. They got the crowd in it. They're passing blunts around. Like these guys are in it, man, and they're all about the community. They've always been about the community, and a bunch of other stuff too. But they're huge advocates. And to run into him while we were going for indoor skydiving was just so surreal. And he's like, "Yo, let me skydive with these guys." And we were like, "You don't want to come with us? We're learning." He's like, "No, I want to go with these guys." And he had been there so many times. Like he didn't need to go with us. We had to do everything as well. But
that
cool.
must have been a moment. That must have been a moment.
Like you run into so many incredible people doing this. Like I ran into Dan Harrer. That's Jack Harrer's son.
The son,
He has an incredible journey to share. But running into the people that tell me that I've changed their life by making weed videos and encouraging people to explore cannabis, that's the most incredible thing, because it's just something you can't fathom, that like I'm just a guy from the middle of nowhere putting myself on the internet, and then people come up to me in the middle in the open in Vegas, and they thank me, and it was just that is so much, because I don't get it.
It just reminds you, because you're not just a guy in your basement. You are actually making an impact in the community, right?
You're absolutely
You're definitely making a difference.
Sometimes it's nice to hear that and kind of get that little okay, it's working, okay, good. It's not all about the numbers and everything else, right?
It does, and
that's fabulous.
It just it burns that fire to want to do some more,
right?
and I don't try to what's the word I'm looking for? I don't try to focus on what YouTube does to us, or even the negatives, because we see it every day.
Exactly.
We're told about the negatives. We know we can't smoke our weed here, or to grow it there, or do this or do that. We get it. We know it. We see it. And for me, it's like I don't want to focus on that. I will just say, okay, that's the challenge. Good. Here we go. We're gonna do something else.
Let's work around it. Let's
bring it on. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for adversity, right? So
exactly.
Bring it on. What else you got to throw at me?
Well, we're coming up to the end of the hour here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Such a fabulous conversation. So let's just give a quick little shout out. I'm sorry, my camera's backwards. We've got the Stash blend here, and this is from the brain power of from the guys over at From the Stash podcast. You, Rob, and Mr. Grow It, Chris. Thank you so much for sending this over to me. Any final words, sir?
Thank you so much for thinking about me. Thank you for putting me on today. I really appreciate it. I encourage everyone to just follow your dreams. Don't give up. Don't listen to the naysayers. There's always going to be someone to tell you that you can't do something. So just prove them wrong. Believe in people. They'll surprise you.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Pigeons,
words of wisdom.
for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
Mr. Organic, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
See you guys.
We appreciate you very much.
You're
Thank
gonna
you
have to hit
guys.
the button because
Later,
I don't
man.
want to kick. I don't want to be the one that kicks Pigeons out. So you're gonna have to leave. Sorry.
Until next time. Have a great weekend, guys.
Yes, you too.
Cheers.
Oh my goodness. Oh, what an hour. What an hour.
That
I'm
was.
vibrating. Oh my goodness.
That was a
Oh my
very
goodness.
quick
Thank you.
hour.
Thank you so much, Pigeons, for joining us today. That was fabulous. And seriously, guys, I mean, these are just home growers that have now created something, and now they have created a physical product that we need to
Made
support.
by growers for growers.
Yes, yes. Increase your stash. The
And that's
stash blend. You
so
guys,
that's how you know it's something good. When it's
yeah,
made by people that grow it and use it,
yeah, yep.
you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I don't want to lose the video to Instagram. I want to
Absolutely.
make sure it makes safe. Thank you everybody for joining us today. So many fabulous
Thank you,
people. Sorry, I
thank you.
couldn't answer any questions. I didn't want to hit any buttons and accidentally have fat fingers and close it. So I apologize
No, I
for
think
anybody asking questions.
I think he did good at answering questions. He was picking them up as he was going on with the
Yeah,
conversation,
he's so good at that. He's very good at
and I was way too
communicating with
busy
his
focusing on what he was saying to even be able to read. So
All right. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with us, and we'll see you Friday night,
thank
8
you.
p.m. 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Eastern for Grow Me Gardens, and we
Yes,
want to see
yes.
what you have growing on. Get those legs all shaved up.
Show
Bye.
what you grow.